Everywhere the judge goes, there is movement. When my judge is there, there should be movement. And if there's no movement, there should be a question mark. And that is why, with this war that my client is facing, I am going to give her legal advice. Watch me as I give her the advice. Christ is my judge and my advocate, and I work for him as a lawyer.
Stagnation versus progress. The 21st century marked a period of numerous wars, especially between stagnation and progress. This war starts anytime my client wants to move on in life. She loves and knows Jesus, but since stagnation dominates as a powerful kingdom in the hinterland on earth, tracing through her bloodline, it seems impossible to reach progress. In the beginning of the year 2022, the relation deteriorates to such an extent that only war settles the issue, where she says, enough is enough. Failure and ancestral altars ally to fight my client. Disappointment and giving up serve a way for the war to be initiated. What role should my client play?
Hey, my client, would you stop crying? Because 70 times you've asked, where is God? Does he even see you? Does he even hear you? Does he even see your soul, your worry and groans? And it looks like you're still at the same place when you know within your heart that you're supposed to move from glory to glory. There is a war going on in your bloodline, and you need to figure that out. Crying is not going to change anything. So wipe those tears. Listen to me carefully. The roles you are to play before you get to the courtroom to face the trial of stagnation in your bloodline. Alright? I know how it feels when you are waiting for the judge to move your situation and it looks like there is nobody to even hear you. I know how it feels when you're expecting a miracle and all of a sudden failure just hits it at a point, and then all of a sudden disappointment hits you up so tightly and you feel you cannot achieve the promises of God any longer. I really know how that feels, but I want you to know certain things, because we have historians, thankfully, through our constitution of heaven, that has been clearly evidenced or recorded. So my clients, I'm going to show to you what this historian did, as clearly seen in the Constitution of John chapter 5 verses 3 going. We are going to break it, not fully, but we're going to break it halfway through so that you understand me deeper, right? All right, so my clients, I know that you're waiting for my judge to move your situation and automatically you expect him to come in, boom, at flash, right? But then I want you to know this historian has clearly seen in John chapter 5 verses 1 to 4, and then another time we continue the remaining verses left, right? All right, so I read. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is in Jerusalem by the sheep gate a pool, in Aramaic called Bethesda, which has 5 roofed colonnades. In these lay a multitude of invalids, blind, lame, and paralyzed, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel of the Lord went down at certain seasons into the pool and stirred the water. Whoever stepped in first after the stirring of the water was healed of whatever disease he had. Right. Alright, my client. So I am reading this historian to you as clearly seen in the Constitution of John chapter 5 verses 1 to 4, because I want you to know something. Now these people were blind, they were paralyzed, and we were all expecting for the movement of healing or the movement of God, basically. But there was something that was happening. It had times and seasons that the angels were apparently going in to stir the water so that anybody that comes in there first will basically get the healing instantly. Now that is what I want you to know, that you are expecting a miracle from God, a movement of God to come out of your present doors of stagnation, and it seems that God is not moving. But then it should be, or there should be a time where you sit down, you communicate to God, you tell God that, God, right now I want you to move in my situation, but then in which time, in which season should I move for you to move? Do you understand? Because you cannot take your first move and then automatically expect God to move in your situation. So that was basically what was happening with these people. They had to basically wait for the times and seasons of the angel to stay about the water for them to come in to get their instant healing. And that is what I want you to know today. So I want you to know that the role that you are to play before you come out of the prison doors of stagnation, you need to sit down, communicate to the judge one-on-one and ask him questions. Father, what am I doing that I'm not supposed to do? What am I doing that is making me miss my breakthrough of movement or of progress? Do you get it? Alright, so this is where we end. We're going to talk about the next roles that you are to play another time. I hope this was much more of like a practical section to you.